Hey, picture this. You're sitting in your car after a long day at work, stuck in traffic on the commute home, and you pull up your Fidelity or Vanguard app for the 100th time this month. You've been auto-contributing to your Roth IRA or your 401k for what feels like forever, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, and the balance is, up a little one week thanks to the S&P 500 having a good day, down the next because the Fed just hinted at another rate hike and the market freaked out. Meanwhile, your student loan payment just hit your checking account like a truck, another $300 gone, and gas is pushing $4.50 a gallon again. Rent's due in a week, your credit card from that last treat-yourself purchase is staring at you, and you're wondering if this whole investing for the future thing is just a scam for rich people. If that's hitting way too close to home right now, if you're chasing that American dream of owning a house, retiring without eating cat food, and not stressing every time the bills roll in, then stick with me, because today I'm diving deep into why those brutal early years feel like absolute torture, and why quitting right there is the biggest mistake most Americans make. My name's Troy, and I spend way too much time thinking about how compound interest can turn regular people like us into legitimate millionaires without needing a six-figure salary or some genius stock picks. If you're someone who's buried under student debt, living paycheck to paycheck while dreaming of financial freedom, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. Most folks treat investing like it's supposed to feel exciting from day one. They throw in a couple $100, watch the S&P 500 wiggle around, see maybe $20 in gains after a month, and think, screw this, I'd rather buy a new TV or pay down my credit card faster. Look, I get it. I'm frustrated too when I see how many Americans bail exactly when the magic is about to start. Nearly 60% of us are living paycheck to paycheck right now, according to recent surveys, and the average student loan balance is hovering around $38,000 per borrower. That debt is crushing dreams before they even get off the ground. But the brutal truth? 80 to 90% of your lifetime investment growth happens in the later years, after you've paid your dues for a decade or more. The early stage? It's boring on purpose. It's financial boot camp, training you to think like someone who actually builds wealth instead of just spending every dollar chasing the next dopamine hit. Let me introduce you to Alex. Alex is your typical 28-year-old American, graduated college a few years ago with about $35,000 in student loans hanging over his head, working a solid but not flashy job in marketing, pulling in around $55,000 a year before taxes. After Uncle Sam takes his cut, health insurance, and those 401k contributions, if he's lucky, he's netting maybe $3,200 a month in his checking account. Rent on his one-bedroom apartment eats $1,400, groceries, gas for the commute, phone bill, minimum student loan payments, another $1,200 gone easy. Most months, Alex has $300 or $400 left if life's not throwing curveballs like a car repair or that unexpected medical bill. Sound familiar? Alex isn't hitting the lottery or day trading his way to riches. One day, scrolling Reddit during lunch instead of Instagram, he stumbles on some real talk about index funds and decides to do something small but game-changing. He opens a Roth IRA because why pay taxes on growth later when you can let it compound tax-free, and sets up an automatic $150 transfer every payday. Why $150? Because it's what he can swing without freaking out about bills, especially after prioritizing his employer's 401k match first. That free money is like 100% instant return, and way too many Americans leave it on the table. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly where most people lose faith. Month 1. Alex checks his Roth IRA. He's got $150 in an S&P 500 index fund. The market's up a bit. Maybe he sees $4 in gains. Big whoop. He could have bought a coffee and a sandwich with that. Month 2, another $150 in. Total around $305 after a tiny dip from some Fed news about inflation. The balance bounces like crazy. One day up $10, next day down $15. Financial headlines are screaming about recession fears, and Alex starts second-guessing everything. Should I just pause this and attack my student loans harder? My credit score could use the boost for a better car loan someday. This is what I call the boredom trap, the phase where compound interest is working perfectly in the background, but you can't feel it yet because the numbers are too small. Historically, the S&P 500 has delivered about 10% average annual returns over the long haul, including dividends reinvested. But early on, with small contributions, that 10% on $300 is $30 a year, pocket change. Most Americans quit here because we're wired for instant gratification. The American dream sells us on quick wins like flipping houses or crypto pumps. But Alex does something different. He treats his investments like a non-negotiable bill. Auto transfer on, app notifications off. No daily checks, no emotional roller coaster. Fast forward 6 months, Alex's Roth has crept over $1,000 for the first time. Still not life-changing, barely covers an emergency flight home, but it's growing without him lifting a finger. Then life hits. His credit card from holiday spending is at $2,000, interest piling up at 20%. Old Alex would have panicked, cashed out the Roth, paying penalties and taxes, huge mistake, and started over. But now he's shifted his mindset. That money in the S&P 500 isn't his anymore. It's for future Alex, the one who wants to buy a house without a massive mortgage or retire before 65. He picks up a side gig on weekends, sells some old stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and pays down the card without touching investments. This is the psychology part most gurus ignore. Wealth isn't just math. It's rewiring your brain from live for today to pay your future self first. By the end of year one, Alex has dumped in about $1,800 of his own money. With average S&P returns, say 8 to 10% after some volatility, his balance is around $1,950, up maybe $150 for the year. A coworker sees it and laughs. Dude, why not just get a nicer apartment or a better car? But here's what most people don't realize. Those early dollars are the heavy lifters later. They're getting a 30 to 40-year head start on compounding. It's like planting a tree in your backyard. The first few years, it's a skinny stick. You water it, protect it, and it looks pathetic. But give it time, and suddenly you've got shade, fruit, and real value. Year 2 rolls in. Alex gets a small raise, 3%, and instead of lifestyle creeping up, that new truck payment everyone else is taking, he bumps his Roth contribution to $175 a month. Tiny tweak, massive impact long term. He also starts maxing his 401k match more aggressively. By month 24, he's contributed around $4,200 total. Balance, pushing $5,000 with gains. The growth is still modest, maybe $800 in profits, but something clicks psychologically. For the first time, Alex isn't stressing 2 days after payday. He's not paycheck to paycheck anymore, even on the same salary. That gap between what he earns and what he spends, it's creating breathing room. And studies show over half of Americans don't have that. They're one emergency from disaster. This is where it shifts from expense to asset. Your money starts working a side hustle while you sleep. Alex realizes he's building the habits that separate the wealthy from the broke. Thinking in decades, not dopamine hits. Ignoring the noise when the Fed jacks rates and the market dips 10%. Staying calm while friends finance new boats or vacations on credit. Racking up debt, chasing an Instagram version of the American dream. Now, you might be thinking, Troy, 5 years in and only low 5 figures? That's discouraging. Look, by year 5, Alex is 33, salary up to $65,000 with promotions. His contributions have nudged to $250 a month naturally. Raises, tax refunds funneled in instead of spent. Total invested, around $12,000. Balance, closing in on $17,000 to $18,000, assuming solid 9 to 10% returns. That's $5,000 to $6,000 in pure growth, no extra work from him. Still not millionaire status, but those early $150 deposits, they've more than doubled already. while newer ones are just starting. Here's the eye-opener most people miss. Around year 8 to 10, the curve bends upward hard. Alex's portfolio might grow $8,000 to $10,000 in a single good year, more than he's contributing annually. The handoff happens. Your investments out-earn your additions. Suddenly, the S&P 500 isn't just tracking the market, it's snowballing. Those boring early years trained him to protect the system. When income jumps, lifestyle lags behind. When markets crash, and they will, the Fed can't prevent every downturn. He buys more, not sells. The math is merciless in the best way. Start at 28 with $200 a month at 10% returns. By 65, you're looking at over $1.5 million, tax-free in a Roth. Delay to 38? Same contributions, but now it's under $700,000. Time is the secret ingredient, and stats back it. The average 401k balance for folks in their 30s is only around $180,000, but that's skewed by late starters. Consistent tryhards who start small and never stop, they crush it. So if you're in those early, soul-crushing months where nothing seems to move, protect your system like it's sacred. Start with whatever you can. Grab your employer 401k match first. Free money. Open a Roth IRA if eligible. Auto-invest in a simple S&P 500 fund. Nudge it up with every raise. Pay future you before current impulses. Ignore the boredom. It's filtering out the quitters, so only the patient win big. Your future self, the one with the paid-off house, travel freedom, no student debt stress, is begging you not to quit now. The snowball is forming. Just keep pushing. If this fired you up, smash that like button. Subscribe for more no BS financial truth, and comment below, what's your monthly investment amount right now? Let's motivate each other. You've got this. Now go try hard.